Good morning. Today I'm going to be doing a product review of the Rubball. Not actually sure how to pronounce it. This is a vibrating massage ball. Pretty interesting. I've never actually used one of these before. So I got sent this one to review, and then if you like it, you can check it out using the link in the description. So it comes in a pretty standard cardboard box. It's got a little foam insert to caress the unit. It's got logo, right? Ball comes with an instruction manual that has some basic information as well as photos. It's got photos and stuff, right? With suggestions on how to use it, basic cleaning and maintenance and all that. And of course you got the charging cable. The ball itself, it's pretty heavy. I imagine it would be. It's got a motor inside of it. It's round, and then the port with the charging cable is a little bit flat, so it's not completely round. It's held together. I don't know how well it's going to focus. It's held together with a few screws. So it's two halves, and then they're connected with these screws. I haven't bothered to take it apart. I'm guessing that probably avoids the warranty. You probably won't need to if you're using this, but just showing you how it's put together. So on one side, it's got the charging port. On the other side, it's got the on switch and a bunch of LEDs. So what I'm going to do is hold on to the on switch. So see, we got a full battery. And then to press it, you're going to cycle through the different vibration modes. And there are 3 vibration modes. And what it's going to end up happening, you're going to use this like you would a regular massage ball. I think, let me turn this off. I think in terms of having massage equipment, you're going to want the small lacrosse ball style one. And then you're going to want the bigger one, which is more effective for bigger muscle groups like hamstrings and glutes, for example. I'll get into a little bit more. I think this thing is amazing for hamstrings because you get that added vibration. And I've talked about this before. There is a legitimate benefit to vibration therapy. Is it going to cure all of your ailments? Probably not, but compared with using just a ball, the vibration adds another element, helps to release tension, helps to increase blood flow, etc., etc. I'm not about to go through all of the benefits of the vibration therapy, but yeah, we got 3 speeds, and I like this is something I like to do. I just like to hold on to it, right? You turn it on, and then imagine it's like, give it a good grip, and actually I like that vibration that I get through the hand, through the fingers, through the wrist. I can hold on to it, press different angles. I'm not even getting into the massaging portion. This is just like you're holding a ball of energy, which I think is pretty cool, and that's a sensation you're not really going to get from a massage gun, for example. So I like that. I like just holding it and feeling the vibration. Now, one thing you will notice, and I don't have any other massage balls to compare it to, is that it's got 3 vibration settings. They're all fairly high vibration. So typically, if you start to play around with these different massage guns that have a bunch of different settings, you'll find that the lower frequency can get a little bit deeper into the muscle. All of these settings are on the higher end of the frequency, so they're not going to get super deep, but the cool thing is that you can apply a lot of pressure, because I'll show you a few of the ways that I've been using it. You can apply almost a full body weight of pressure. One thing that I did notice that you will notice is the vibration does get dampened when you put weight into it. So I don't know how well you're going to hear it. So you can hear this vibration. It's not loud. It's not super quiet, but it's not loud either. If I was watching a movie and using this at the same time, wouldn't be a big deal. One thing, I think they do have a warning in the book as well. You do want to use this only on a soft floor. So if you're using it on a hard floor, you probably want to put up like a couple layers of yoga mat, something like that. Obviously, because it's going to bang against the floor. So just so you can hear this, so this is level 3 vibration, right? And this is what it's like when it's open, when I'm holding this ball of energy. Now, when I press, see how it dampens it? So that is something to keep in mind. Whatever vibrational energy that you initially have, once you start putting weight into it, it's going to get less. So like level 1, right? Level 1, can you see it vibrating? You can hear it. When I push down on level 1, it's very slight. It's not much vibration at all. Level 2, You get some. Level 3, it's a pretty powerful vibration, but it does get dampened when you push down on it, but it's still vibrating for sure. So I'm going to go into just a few of the ways that you can use it, and then a few of the specific ways that I like to use it. So I'm going to turn this guy on to level 3, and I'm going to show you, so I've already shown you this one, but I like this for the palm of the hand. You don't think much about massaging the palm of the hand, but there's muscles in there. And it's a cool feeling, so I like that. And I don't even know if that's in the instruction manual, but just, especially if you do a lot of work with your grip, or you're, maybe a craftsman works a lot with their hands, maybe you work on the computer and type a lot. This is something you can do, that nice vibrational hand massage. It feels good, and afterwards you get that little tingling. It's a nice feeling, again, especially if you're using your hands a lot. So that's kind of the first way that I'd use it, is just press, roll, give it a little bit of grip. You can try palming it like a basketball, which I have small hands, I've never been able to do very well. And then you can get this, so then you can apply pressure into the forearm, for example. So in this case, I'm massaging my right forearm and my left palm. So I like that because here I'm getting kind of 2 massages at the same time. When I'm pressing down, I can get into biceps. Now these are smaller muscles, the forearm and the bicep and all of that, so the bigger ball is not quite as effective in getting in there, but still useful, still feels good. Chest, you can get some vibration in your voice, so you can push it into your pecs, deltoids, right? And this is before I lay it on the floor, so this is kind of still maintaining that hand contact. One thing that does happen occasionally, kind of a small negative of the design, not a big deal. So you can see there's that on button, right? And you can see how it's a little bit recessed. Sometimes it's not enough. Sometimes when I'm rolling, I do find that I press it accidentally. Not a big deal. Just something I noticed as kind of a small negative as far as the design of the unit. So yeah, I can get into bicep, I can get into forearm. And again, as I mentioned, I like this specific method because I'm also getting that palm massage at the same time. So I'm going to do the same thing. Oh, that's hard to hang on to. I'm going to do the same thing with my quads, right, where I'm pushing and I can find some good spots. I can apply a good amount of weight into, and the quads are big muscle groups, so they respond really well to something this size. Push down, right, and roll it around. And as far as massage techniques, there's a few you can do, right? You can find that tender spot and just push and hold. You can oscillate back and forth a little bit. You can tense the muscle and then relax and try to let it sink deeper. And vibration, you can do all of this with a non-vibrating massage tool, but the vibration kind of adds another element to that, which is cool because you don't have to do anything differently. It just adds more. I can get into the calves. This one's great for the calves, by the way. And this is before I lay it on the floor, so this is all handheld massage. And again, you can do this before training. You can do it after training. You can do it randomly when you're watching a movie. Just something to do, something to keep in your hand, and something that's going to help you recover from your training. So I'm just kind of exploring, finding different spots. I can get into the neck, right? Neck and traps. It's a little bit weird with the leverage, using your arms to do that. So this is something that works a little bit better once you have the ball on the floor, but this is all the handheld stuff on different ways to use it. And next thing I'll do is turn this guy on and put it on the floor, and then I'll show you a few different ways that I might. And it does have an auto shut off, right? So what I noticed is that I left for a minute and it did shut off automatically, so that's also another cool feature. And then if I didn't show you before, that's the battery indicator. Right, so at this point I still have a full battery, and eventually it's going to go all the way down to the red as I keep using it. So 1, 2, 3, level 3 kind of tries to get away from you, so you got to pin it down. Feet, That's the first thing I'll do with it on the floor. Feels really good on the feet if you're walking a lot, if you have issues with plantar fasciitis, for example. This is absolutely fantastic. You should be rolling out your feet anyway on the cross ball or something like that. As I mentioned before, that vibration gives kind of another dimension. And if you've never done this with the feet, do it on one foot and then take a step, and you'll feel how you kind of get a greater sensitivity with the floor after that. So it's really nice for the feet, especially even if you're not having issues with the feet, it just feels really good. But especially if you're sore, if you're having issues with foot pain, this is very helpful for that. So I can kind of curl my foot around it. I can flex the toes in and out. I can play with a lighter pressure or a little bit heavier pressure just to feel the difference. But yeah, really, really nice for the feet, just rolling around. Next up, gonna go into the lower body. So we're gonna get into the glutes. I'm gonna try to find a good point, just hang out there. And this is really good for the glutes, like this size of ball. Glutes and hamstrings, it's super effective. So same idea as before. I'm just searching, exploring, finding spots, moving around. And then from the glutes, I can move into the hamstring. Really nice for a hamstring release, because what I can do is stretch at the same time. I can do hamstring stretches as I push onto the ball, and I'm getting that vibration at the same time. I can do a little bit of knee flexion extension, so I can move that muscle in and out past the point of where it's being pinned down. I can put a lot of weight into it. So this is a really good way to release a bit of tension in the hamstrings. And again, this ball I think is specifically, there's a lot of things it's really effective for, but I think for the hamstrings it's one of the most effective, because it's hard to get into that specific point in general, but being able to add a layer of stretch, being able to add a layer of vibration, really helpful. We can go calves. Really nice for the calves as well. If you use your calves a lot, whether you're running, jumping, etc., usually they get pretty sensitive. So you don't want something too sharp, and you don't want the vibration to be too hard. So I find this is also really good for the calves, because it's gentle enough that, like, even if you're really tender in that area, you can. It's a good mix where you can feel it, but it's not overloading the calves. So this ball is really good for calves and hamstrings. Gonna go other side. Rolling around. A little bit tighter on this glute. So see, that happens, right? So as I mentioned, part of the design, sometimes you click the button by accident, especially if you're putting a lot of weight into it. Not a big deal, right? Not a huge inconvenience, but it does happen because that power button is not recessed into the unit too far. Yeah, rolling around. Oh, there's a good position. So what I'm doing as well, I don't know if you caught that, I'm also rotating the hip in and out. And when I do that hip internal rotation, it sometimes opens up some interesting spots. So the way I like to do massage is the same way I like to stretch a lot of the time as well. I think of it as an exploration. If I find a good spot, I'll stay there. But I like to move in and out, because there's a good spot too. But I find those good spots by exploring. And I can play with how much weight I put into it. I can tense the leg and then release, try to go a little bit further. And I'll work my way back up to the calves. Rolling around. This calf's a little bit tighter, a little bit more tender, so maybe I'll put less weight into that one. So there's a lot of control that you can have with how much weight you put into it, how long you stay, etc., etc. So this is not only a tutorial on how to use the Rubball vibrating massage ball, but just in general, kind of how I would go into one of these self-massage sessions using the ball in general. So quads, I'm not going to do the quads too much, but you can lay on a specific part of your leg, just like that, right? So you can roll around back and forth, same idea, exploration, and then you can control with your arms and your other leg how much weight you put into it, so you can control the pressure of the massage, because everyone needs a different kind of massage. Not everyone needs the same amount of pressure. Back, also really nice. So you don't want to go on the spine, you want to stay away from the bones, hit the soft tissues. So I can go lower back, I can go mid back, upper back, in between the spine and the scapula. That's an area that's, you hear my voice vibrating, that's an area that's really hard for me to reach. So this is really good for that. And once I'm there, I can move this arm around, try to explore or find different points. Other side, same thing, roll around, explore, find. Oh, I say I turned it off again. Happens. Does happen. Ball's getting a little bit warm as well. Not something that would be unexpected over a long-term use. Rolling, oh, finding that good point. You can get into the neck and the traps here as well. Just kind of hang out, relax. Move the arm around, oh, until you find a new point. This is another interesting one for the traps that you can do. Is that in between the neck and that trap muscle. Maneuver your hips until you find that good spot. And then breathe, relax, let it sink further. And then one more area that this is effective on, so you can get into the lats, you can get into that lat kind of teres insertion here, tricep, that's going to look like this. So find that point, lay down, relax, move the arm, stretch it out, rotate, move up towards the armpit. Again, you really just have to explore. Everyone's going to be experiencing the sensations differently. Main thing is that you want to stay on, so rear delt feels really good on the rear delt. Oh, turned it off again. Yeah, rear delt is nice because that's kind of a hard area to hit. You don't really have leverage to get it there without kind of pinning something down like this. So rear delt feels nice. What I can do is rotate back and forth, and rotate the shoulder, find that good spot, and just stay there, hang out, reach, hit different angles, tricep. You can get into the tricep really nicely, and that's again something that, because it's on the back of your body, you don't have a lot of leverage to release it normally, so you have to find different ways, and this is fantastic for the tricep. You can roll over and go bicep, this time with a little bit more force, a little bit more power behind it. Same thing with delt or pec minor. So a lot of options here that you can play with. So conclusion, if you're into self-massage, you should have different size balls. The soft ball size ball is one that is very useful, that should be in your arsenal. What the Rubball gives you is an added layer of vibration that you can play with. Overall, it is a good product. As I mentioned before, this isn't going to solve all of your problems. If you have pain, chances are it's not going to be one solution. You have to figure a lot of things out about yourself. That being said, this is a very useful tool for warm-up, for recovery, for blood flow, just for overall, like, you feel good after the session, and you feel, because it has that added layer of vibration, I feel good after rolling around on a ball, and I feel better rolling around on this because it has that added layer of vibration. The battery does last a while, fairly quick to charge. Interface, right? User interface is pretty simple. You got one button operation to turn it on, cycle through the modes of power to turn it off. The main negative, as I mentioned, is that because that button isn't recessed as far as it could be, I do turn it off occasionally. Not a big deal. Roll over, turn it back on, and get back to work. So you've seen, this is just some of the ways that I use it, and I think it's important to have kind of that exploration in mind when you're rolling around on this, and that's something that the ball gives you. Whoop-ah! It's also durable if you drop it. That's something that the ball gives you access to, and basically the reason I have a lot of these tools for self-massage is because I don't really have a massage therapist that I go to, and I think it's important to be able to work on yourself. So you have a bunch of tools. This is definitely a tool that you can have in the toolbox that if you use it, you can get a lot of benefit from it. As I mentioned before, it's a ball, rolling around on a ball. Vibration adds another level to it. So if you're interested in the Rubball massage ball, you can check out the links below. Other than that, if you have products that you would like me to review, I'm open to that. So let me know in the comments what you'd like to see more from this YouTube channel, and I'll do my best to get that out to you. But otherwise, I hope you enjoy this review of the Rubball massage ball and a little bit of tutorial education on how I might use a massage ball to release tension and get into some of the different muscles, both standing, contact, and rolling around on the floor. So I do hope you find that useful as well. Other than that, yeah, let me know what else you'd like to see on this channel, and I'll do my best to get it out to you. Otherwise, I'll see you next time.